Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. This is another part of junk journal, and as you can see we have done quite a bit already. So this is what we have so far. And these are the last pages we have made. So now we will work on this side. So we will work on this page first. And for this one, I chose double-sided paper. I chose this one. So for our project, we will use, or for this page, I will use the entire sheet. The only thing I will do, I will cut out that little circle that I have. And we will score this. So the 12-inch side and whatever I cut off, this side is a little bit less than 12. So let's make sure that we have the 12-inch side and we will score it at 3.5. We will score at 8.5. So both sides, the outside panels should be approximately 3.5 inches long. So now when we turn to the opposite side, we will score at 2.25 and 2.25 and 9.75. So now when we fold all our scores, we will burnish the scores. So this is what you get. So now we will make some cuts. So now this is the long panel. So I am gonna cut it right on a score. And this is not comfortable for me. Let me do it this way. So I'm positioning the ruler right on the score and I'm gonna cut right from the score all the way down. On this side, we will make a little angle. So I am gonna position on my board and I'm using my board as a guide. So I'm gonna cut it from the score to this 1/2 inch. So this is what we have. And we're gonna do this to every single corner. So now with this score, I am gonna position just like that and cut from the score. Let me position it on the board. So from the score, I'm cutting 1/2 inch on the corner. And this side, I will cut right on the score. So one side is done. So now we're going to do the same thing to this side. So the shorter side. See, this is the longer one, longer score, this is shorter score. So what we're gonna do, we will position it and we will cut on an angle from the score to 1/2 inch mark. If you don't have the board, this is my score, 1/2 inch. If you don't have a board, you can just mark your panel. And I need to cut it this way. 1/2 inch from the score to the outside. And this way we are cutting from the score all the way to the bottom. So we got this side done. Now we need to do this one. So you see, this panel is on angle and this panel will have to be on angle. So again, I'm going to position this on my board from the score 1/2 inch. When I turn it around, I will cut from the score all the way down. So as you can see, we just created our little envelope just the way we have done it previously. It's just that this is different way of making the same thing. So as you can see, there are so many different ways you can cut your paper. So when we fold it over, just make sure that all your corners, edges are straight. Mine is a little bit off, so I will just trim it just a tiny bit. So in a way, I am creating this little tiny angle. Okay, let me see if I fold that. I like it. This one is a little bit off, so I will also trim it just the hair. All right, I am happy with the result. So we will position this just like that. So now I will apply glue only to 3 sides, and pay attention how you position this. So if this is how it's positioned and this is going to be your inside, we need to position glue here, here, and here. And we are actually creating also additional pocket right here. So let me make sure that this is all stuck. And now as you can see, if you are using double-sided paper, you really don't have to decorate anything in here. You could if you would like to, but you don't have to. So you can put additional maybe white little tag so you can write something on it. And now we have pocket right here on this side. So now since we created pocket right here, I want to put something right on the inside, otherwise I will forget that the pocket exists right there. So we will measure this dimension, which is 7.5 inches. So I am going to make it little card 6.5. Okay, so it will be 6.5. And now I don't know where my glue is. I don't know how deep this is. So let me try it. And you can see, you can feel it where it stops. So I am going to just make it mark with the pencil, just so I know what the depth is. And I will cut it right before my mark. Okay, so this will be a little insert for our pocket. Now, you could leave it just the way it is, or you can create a little tab. So if this is 6 inches, we can create small tab, and I will create a tab about 3/8 of an inch. So I will just cut, slide it over and cut more. So I'm not really using any dimensions for my cut. And now, because this is the tab, I am gonna cut it just on an angle, and here is my tab. And I need to change my blade because it's not cutting well. Okay, so here is our card, and we can just place it on the inside, just like that, just so we know that there is something there. Now, this card is really flimsy, so to make it a little bit stronger, I am just gonna make double sides. So we need 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Let me double check this dimension. 6 1/4, a little bit less. I think I'm gonna use this. Let me just trim it. Okay, about 6 1/4. And we said the width is 4 1/2, so we cut 4 1/4. So I can position this on one side. So for inside, we will just create a little band. So the band should be approximately 7 1/2. So this side is too short, but the band will be approximately 1.5 inches, 7 1/2 long. So we can position it right on the middle. To double check your dimensions, close those 2 flaps. You do want to make sure that the band is not too long. So I will apply glue only on those 2 sides. Position it approximately on the middle. Okay, and to decorate the band, I will fussy cut this flower from the same paper I had. Okay, and we can position this flower just like that as a little decoration. I am gonna just apply glue just on the middle of it and place it right here. Nice and simple, yet I think it's very pretty. In addition to that, we will make additional pocket right here and right here. So let me cut off. I see that circle in here, so I don't want to use this side, but we will make pocket approximately 2 inches wide. So let me cut off that circle. This is too big. And another 2 inches. Now the height of the packet will be 7.25. Again, only 3 sides. Thin strip of glue. And I do want to see a little bit of that border. I think it's just going to look pretty. Okay, and the same thing to this one. Right. Okay, so for the closure, we will use something a little bit unusual. We will actually use popsicle stick. I have bag or two laying around, so I figure why not put them to use. So what we're gonna do, we will make it hole in that popsicle. And I try to make it on the middle, but it's kind of a little bit off center. So let me try one more. You know, maybe it's going to be easier if I just mark it. Here's the center. Okay, much better. So we're going to use popsicle to actually close this. I have some thin ribbon that I will use. So let me put the ribbon through the hole. So the popsicle will be actually hanging off of our project. Now, we don't want to make this hanging way too low. So when you position your ribbon, just pay attention. You don't want your popsicle to stick out. And I'm going to cut it right here at the edge of this packet that we created. All right, so this is going to be the perfect length right here. So now we need to glue this onto our project. So for that, I will use double-sided tape. So this one is 1/2 inch. So I will just cut it approximately 3/4 inch, and I will position it right here at the top of the packet that we made. So if you can see it, when I close this side, I still have just a little bit of room, and then I placed this tape right here. So now let me remove the backing. And I see that this is fraying a little bit. So let me trim this off. And I place this right on the top of the tape. And I want to make sure that both sides are actually holding, just like that. So now I will put additional double-sided tape right on top of it because I do want to make sure that this will hold. So now we remove the backing, and this is the paper that we used for the front, and that was the inside. I will use that for the closure. So what we're gonna do, I don't want to use this big piece, and I have little one left, maybe I use that, because I do want to cover that. I do want to cover that, but I do want to make it pretty. So let me just score this. It doesn't matter where I need to fold it because I want to create double thickness. And that's what we will place right here on top of that tape. So I will just glue this together just so I have double thickness. As you can see, my glue is spilling everywhere. Okay. And now this piece will not be that large, although it could go underneath. That's no problem. So I might use this entire piece, but now I want length approximately 3/4 of an inch. And you really don't have to measure this. You can eyeball it. It's gonna go right here. And I think this is a little bit too big. So now I am just gonna cut this. Basically, I'm trying to create little design, something a little bit different, but not complicated. Even something like that would be fine. Let's just cut it so both sides are matching, and we can position this right on the top. So let's glue this. And because we have double-sided tape right on the top, I think that's going to hold very well. Okay. Now I have a piece of this ribbon I bought from Dollar Tree. And I think I'm going to use that for decoration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim off just this one flower. And I will place it in here, just like that. So for this, I believe I still need double-sided tape. And I'm going to use just the tip of it, just so this is holding. Now you could make it a little bow. You can decorate any way you like it. I'm not too good making bows, so I will just put this, just so this is not that plain. Now for lollipop stick, you could decorate it, but I don't want to. I don't want to decorate this because I think, and this might be just a little bit too long. I don't know if I can squeeze this in there. Here you go. So now we will use some of this, but let's measure it. So I think I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna cut it to 4 inches. So let me cut. I want to make sure I had 4 inches in here. I don't want to use this whole entire sheet, so I want to trim this off. Let's trim that. So this is 5, 5. Okay, so I need approximately 4 inches. And then four inches and 4¼ Oops, didn't cut. All right. So now we will score this. So this is the 4-inch side. So we need to score the opposite side, 4¼ So 4¼ inch side, we will score at 1¾ No, we will score at 2. We will fold over and you have a little lip on this side. And that's exactly what I want. So this will become almost extension of this page in a way. And this might be too long. I will trim this off. So when you're cutting this piece, cut it to 4 inches. 4 inches and score in half. So we will end up with this. And that we will trap this entire page, just like this. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna make little angle on both sides, right here and right here. You don't have to measure it. Basically, when we close this, we will glue this just like that. And I just didn't want to have those square corners. That's all it is. And this is too long. So I will cut this down to 3 inches. And I will make that little angle on the side, just like that. So now what I'm paying attention to is I want this to be captured by this stick. So this is still even too long. This is the first time I'm coming up with this closure. So I do have an idea in my head. Now I just have to make it work. So I think this will be fine. So if we position it like this, we're gonna be able to close it with this stick, just like that. So now I am gonna round these corners just a little bit on both sides. I think it just looks nicer. And we will position it like that. So now on the inside, I am gonna apply the glue to the entire piece. And actually on both sides. Just like that. And we are trapping this page. So position it, align it however you want, and then we just glue it. Let's make sure we don't glue any pages. So now this is like a little tab, and we can decorate this tab. So because I use these little flowers right here, I am gonna put little strip just like that. So I think I can fit 4 of them. And I could glue it just like that. So for that I will use my tin tape, double-sided tape. Okay. Squish this. We will remove the backing. Okay. I will apply just a little bit of the glue on the top. And I'm gonna position this just like that on the middle. So at least you can see that this is matching, just a little extra decoration. Now the stick. The stick will be actually just like that on top of it. So for that, I will also use this leftover paper, and we will create small band, really small one. So let me just cut this too. I'm gonna cut this bigger to begin with, and then we trim it. All right, and we will score this. Now we will score 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 2. So again, we are scoring at 1 1/2, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 2. So the last score, where it is 2 inches, I will just cut this off right before the score. So now let's fold this. And you see what we have, it's almost something that looks like a pencil holder, but it's not square. It's just that this little piece, just like that. So now this will be actually 2 pieces. We will position one on the bottom and one in here on the top, because the stick will have to go through both of them to actually hold this closed. So I am gonna trim this to approximately 3/4 of an inch. So that's 1, and we need 2. 3/4 of an inch, and we have 2 pieces. So now we need to glue them just like that. Okay, let's make sure that this is stuck. So we have 1, and now we're gonna work on the second one. All right, let's make sure that this is stuck. And now we will position it in here and in here. But before we do that, let's make sure that the stick will get right through this whole thing. So one and a second one. And as you can see, there is plenty of room. So let's apply this one right here. And let's squish it to make sure that this is stuck. And we're gonna put this one on the bottom. Right here. Again, let's make sure that this is stuck nice and straight. So now, as you can see, we put the stick and here is our closure. To open it, you just remove it and you can open your pages. So I hope you like this idea. I think this is really neat. And now it seems like it's loose, but that's okay, because when you start filling this up with different things, the stick will really be holding the page together. So now we will work on this page. So now, because this page is so busy, there's a lot going on in here, we're gonna make this one a little bit simpler. So we will cut cardstock to 5 by 7.5. So let's do 5 by 7.5. So that will be the page. And now I got some of this left. I will also cut this to 5. And now we will cut 1, 2 1/4, 1 3/4, and 1 inch. And for decoration, we will use some flowers. And we will cut this into 4 3/4. So you could use any leftover pieces you have. And then we will cut 2. Let me just trim this. We will cut this to 2 inches. 1 1/2. And 3/4. This sheet, and we will just make the pockets right here. So we will apply the glue. And place it on the middle, so you should have a border of approximately 1/8 of an inch all around. and the first one is the larger size, so we will just apply a small strip of glue on 3 sides and just position it right here on top of it. So this will be our first bucket. Now the second one is the larger or the taller one. Okay. And on this one we will apply thin strip of glue only on 2 sides. So I think we have done one of these before. So I'm gonna leave little space in between. Let's squish this. And we got the last one left. And we can apply it just like this. Also, we will apply the glue only on 2 sides, on 2 ends. Small strip of glue. All right, and now I wanted to create something simple for this page because the previous page is quite bulky. So this is the reason why I chose to do it this way. So now this whole entire piece, we can just glue it to our page. And I will position this on the middle. And as you can see, this is a little bulky. So let's just spread this glue to make sure it adheres. And here it is. So in these pockets right here, you can put something smaller. I got some cutouts. So you can put something smaller on the front, little tags, or something a little bit taller, which will go behind those 2 bands. Or if you have something really tall, we can place it right there. So you can put it like this. Maybe a little note card. So as you can see, we have plenty of room to stack up little things. And this is the project for today. I hope you like it. I think this is such a unique idea. I really love it. So we have additional packets on the side, so we can put smaller things, little cards. So I hope you like this one. I hope you enjoyed it, watching me making this. I think it's different, it's unique, and as you can see, we are getting close to the end. We have only a few pages left. So I hope you like it. If you did, please hit like button, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Helps my channel grow. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video.